Good morning and welcome to the Daily Cyber Briefing for Monday the 18th of August. I'm Stephen Ridgway. If you use PayPal, it may be worth considering changing your passwords. There is a threat actor that is claiming to be selling 15.8 million plain text PayPal credentials. Slightly more than just the credentials, though. They've also associated that with specific URLs where the credentials have been seen to work. So if you are just using usernames and passwords for your PayPal account, firstly recommend you apply two-factor authentication or passkeys or something a little bit more resilient, and also definitely recommend that you change your password. Okay, we don't recommend software directly at TSC. We don't resell software or hardware. We are proudly independent in our views of what works and what doesn't. But that doesn't mean to say that we are adverse to good software. Obviously, it is absolutely necessary. Well, there's an interesting article in GB Hackers that sets out the top 10 patch management software that's available at the moment. Now, the only reason I'm bringing this to your attention is that patch management is one of those basic cyber hygiene functions, processes that will mitigate a lot of risks that you find within organizations. And we're often talking about exploits to things that are actually quite old and the patches have been out for a long time. Exploits tend to fall into the categories of it's either brand new, 0-day, we're all being hit by it, or it's remarkably easy because everybody's been doing it for years, but unbelievably there are still a large number of devices out there that have not been patched. So have a look. Don't particularly recommend any of these over any others. But if you are not using patch management as patch management solution yet, you may want to have a look at this. If you are using one, it may be useful for you to know how well yours stacks up against some of the competition, especially if you're thinking of do you renew with your current, or are you looking to change? If you change, are you likely to find anything which is better than the one that you've got at the moment? So definitely worth a read, and definitely worth bearing in mind that patch management solutions can greatly simplify keeping on top of one of the most important bits of basic hygiene. And then finally from me is a good article in Cybersecurity News talking about how scammers are using deep fakes in financial fraud. Now, we are aware, I'm sure, of financial organizations doing things like prior to authorizing a payment, send a photograph. Take a photograph of yourself and send it, these sorts of things. Well, there are other things as well, and given that deepfake technology is actually now quite sophisticated and can in real time mimic create a very realistic face. It's also scams are now going beyond the faking a photograph of you through to actual real-time interactions, and that combined with very realistic voice fakes mean that a lot of these things like voice authentication is now insecure, and so basically just be a little bit cautious about any systems that use a facial well, yeah, sort of facial um, systems or whatever it may be, biometrics, but specifically face or voice in this case. Um, there are a lot of ways in which this stuff can be manipulated. So I am sort of deeply skeptical of those things as a way forward. You can't, I said it before, you can't change your face, you can't change your fingerprints, you can't change your DNA. Once this stuff is out there, there is no possibility for you to reset it in some way. So yeah, definitely worth having a think. Anyway, have a read and see what you think about this. Right, that's all from me for this morning. Hope you have a good start to the week, and I will speak to you all again tomorrow morning.